Hi everyone, I am Dr. Venkatraman here. Now we are in Craigmore Estate, Polybetta, Kodagu district in southern region of Karnataka. Here we are going to meet Mr. Farooq, who owns coffee estate and few more crops. He is the satisfied customer of Andreas STIHL. Let us discuss with him how it is helpful for him and how it has brought changes in his farm or farm activities. Namaskar sir, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Sir, can you please explain about your farming, the plantations, the crops and all?
This is Craigmore Estate in Polybetta, and currently we are having 47 acres under cultivation out of a total of 52 acres, which is our family holding. And we are cultivating a total of 3 crops, namely coffee and pepper, which are the primary crops, and areca as a small third crop. Those are the 3 primary crops that we are cultivating over here.
Sir, how did you come to know about this STIHL equipments?
Well, when I took the estate, we already had a few of the STIHL equipment already in use over here. And after doing a little bit of research on the net and checking out and talking to other planters, I was told that STIHL is the brand I should be looking at, which is precisely what I did.
Sir, what are all the machines from STIHL you are using on your plantations?
One of the first things that we did was to buy an auger and a few brush cutters. Subsequently, over a period of time, we have added to the list of equipment. So presently, we are holding 2 mist blowers from STIHL, and we have a chainsaw and we have 2 brush cutters. I was also looking for something else to help me with trenching of the well, and unfortunately, you haven't launched a product as yet. So I'm hoping that you will come out with some new products for us to use.
Sir, can you please explain the difficulties on your farm or farm operations before you mechanized your farm or bought these STIHL equipments?
Well, let me put it this way. In simple terms, the total annual operating costs of the estate, labor takes up a good 60 to 70% of running costs of the estate. With rising labor wages and a drop in efficiency with labor, one has to look at mechanization, whichever way you can do to derive efficiencies on the estate and to keep your costs under control.
Sir, can you please explain how it solved practical problems on your farm, these STIHL equipments?
So, I do not believe in the traditional form of in preparation for either fertilizer application or for picking. One goes around doing manual weeding to clear the undergrowth. I do not think that that is the way to go about it. Machinery to derive efficiencies and speed up work that you need to do on the estate. This is where machinery comes in, and this is what we use. So the brush cutters come in handy to keep weed control under check. The weeds are necessary to improve soil quality, but at the same time you need to keep it under check, and that's where mechanization comes in. Next piece of equipment is year on year we need to do some planting. The auger comes in very handy. On an average, one man can do about 60 pits a day. With an auger, I can do upwards of 100 pits a day with one machine. So definitely it comes in handy, and I can allocate labor elsewhere to do something more important than putting so many labor to just do planting and digging pits. The third thing is, as I mentioned, the equipment with the mist blowers. Definitely it's something that I've tried recently. I'm extremely happy with the previous one that I had, which is a smaller SR420. I've just last week purchased the SR450 model. That will give me a little bit of leeway to do some more operations with one machine. And namely, that is to do even my fertilizer application I can do, dry fertilizer application I can do with my SR450, which is the reason why I bought it.
Sir, can you please mention few features that you liked most on this STIHL equipments?
Well, as I said, the only model that I know of for the mist blower where it gives me the option of doing wet spraying as well as dry spraying is the SR4550 model, and it definitely is very handy. It speeds up the process. As compared to a battery operated back sprayer or a hand operated back sprayer, I can achieve 3 times the efficiency with the mist blowers. At the same time, I minimize my initial costs of using either fertilizer or foliar sprays. My material cost comes down because of the efficiency. In the last 3 years since I bought the brush cutters and the augers, I have only had to change the blade for the auger, and I forget how many thousand pits I've dug with the auger. The brush cutters, probably in the last 3 years, I may have taken it for servicing twice, as opposed to the other brands which I've used, where typically I would say once a week I'm taking them for servicing. So at the end of the year, the costs mount for maintenance. So you might pay a cheaper cost to buy the equipment initial, but maintenance costs add up. I would still prefer to, although the costs are initially high for STIHL equipment, in terms of reliability, I would rather buy STIHL. Overall, I know my labor between the 3 different brands that I've had to use. They would rather pick up the STIHL machine any day than the other machines.
Sir, can you tell me how you can recommend these equipment to your fellow farmers or friends?
In simple words, I'm looking for reliability of operation, where I do not want, when I start my day and give instructions to my staff, I expect an honest day's work to be done by my staff. If my equipment itself is not reliable, then I am going to end up losing money and time and labor. So I would rather buy STIHL for its reliability, and that is why I would recommend to anybody to use STIHL. It is expensive, definitely, but I would still go ahead and buy it.
Sir, thank you very much. You have spent your valuable time to give feedback, your genuine feedback, experiences on STIHL equipments. Thank you very much again. Namaskar.
Well, we hope that you come out with some more equipment which is going to make our life easier and easier to run and manage the estates. One of the things I have mentioned is that with the increased cost of labor and with the weather changing patterns where temperatures are increasing, you need to retain your moisture as much as you can in your soil. One of the ways of doing that is to do rain trenches, replenishment trenches that we used to do in the past. Most people are not doing that anymore because of the sheer labor cost. So if STIHL can launch an equipment which would allow us to use and make our rain trenches, then it would help a lot.
Dear viewers, till now Mr. Farooq explained us the benefits he got from Andrea STIHL equipments, and it is clearly evident that these handheld power tools, the high quality precision tools, have brought lot of changes on his farm. I hope this discussion will help you all.